Watch it, Ethan! Oh! You guys hold on. Boys, we gotta get out. We'll send a big truck down there by the farm, please. Hey guys, Dusty Baker, Crossroads Bison. Welcome back to the channel. Told you it was gonna happen. We're lighting it up today. Woo, fixing to get warm. Yeah, we got a lot of fuel here. Hey.
Shout out to all the firefighters.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Woo. Get right in your eyeballs.
Every hole in your body.
I saw a fire tornado sucking my drone earlier.
I was ahead of it. You were behind it, I think. That wind shifted and it was moving faster than Richie could.
Left, and we got stuck behind that barn. We couldn't see or anything. The wind shifted and kicked up and blew right and was circling us. I couldn't see y'all or anything.
The fire was making its own wind. It just got so big. It
did.
Fire is just amazing. It's been excluded from the ecosystem for so long. Seeing the wildlife respond to it tells you that this stuff is supposed to get burned every once in a while, and it's been a long time since most of it has. That all stems from a lot of the Smokey the Bear campaign. He did a good job of telling people fire was bad, and people believed it, so fire's been excluded from a lot of these lands for such a long time. But it is what kept this area prairie. You know, Oklahoma and a lot of the Great Plains was prairie. You know, no trees for miles. They had trouble building houses because there weren't enough logs to build houses out of. And that's changed a lot, and people are just used to the trees being around here and don't understand that fire is critical to maintaining a healthy ecosystem here. It evolved with fire. All the plants and animals are adapted to it. It's just part of the system here in Oklahoma.
We're going to try to shoot for a 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. window. Why? School buses, looky-loos, but moreover because this forecast. These north winds are somewhat unpredictable, so in my opinion, you put about an hour or two on either side of whatever this gusty prediction is at 4 p.m. So it's going to get gusty from like 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. and we want to be done by then and clean and mopped up and pretty and all that fun stuff.
We'll probably meet you somewhere around this pond.
See that big pond right there on the east side? We can't proceed from west to east because that's a head fire. Yep. So we'll have to communicate at that point.
Yep.
How's the power pulse? Thank you. We should be good to go then.
Yeah, if you see anything like that smoldering while you're there and you've got water, just go ahead and spray them down. And then you run the drip torch and have Dusty driving his unit and using the sprayer when he needs to.
Okay. I mean, I've got 40 gallons of water, but it's just a battery-powered sprayer. I don't have a gas-powered sprayer, so it's
that's
just
okay.
Kinda...
Hopefully we don't even need to use it.
Yeah.
If you're driving a vehicle, have a radio with you. I think we've got 5 left, so we've run them already this morning, so we shouldn't need to choke them. Just make sure the fuel is somewhere right in the middle.
Don't make a liar.
Don't make a liar. Nope, there we go. Once we start them for the burn, do not turn them off. You know how easily stuff just doesn't start again once you turn it off. You don't have to rev it up very high either. Just somewhere right in the middle is just fine. You're going to get all your pressure. Green knob, turn that towards the tank for the build pressure. See it build. You got a straight stream and then a fan. So for wet lining, you want to use a fan. That's really all there is to that. Then we got to start the leaf blower as well.
There, Alan, before we leave this from here, a lot of times on these Honda motors, when you get on an incline, it's got an automatic kill switch on it. So you got to be listening. When the motor on the UTV is running, you can't always hear this motor. Like if you climb a hill and get level again, you need to make sure this is still running, because a lot of times it's got an automatic oil level switch on it that'll kill the motor. You got to make sure this motor is running at all times.
Yeah, good deal.
We have shredded lines, so we won't be lighting the tall fuel. We'll be lighting part of the way into the shredded line and letting it creep into. And then once it's crept into the tall, then we can spray out or blow out with the blowers. So light the short fuel and let it creep into the tall.
feel it on the thumb.
We're good to go. One of these in each one of the suppression rigs.
Dr. Convoy.
Thank you over here. I shoved a bunch of cedar trees in that so it'll burn. This is gonna go good. Look at all that cedar.
TV, and then what's your name again? Boone.
Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone. Y'all's ATVs are going that way. Leon, you're gonna be patrolling back and forth. He's gonna light off at his. Cool. And then come over here and light it. Here we go. Here we go. There's yours. That's yours. Thank you, sir. Alright, Sam.
Never used one before.
Just point it down for fire, point it up for no fire. We're gonna be driving in front of you.
Okay.
And just walk slowly behind us. I'll wave you down until you stop.
Okay, cool.
We're probably gonna light all the way to those trees and that fence up there in one good stretch. It's not gonna burn that fast.
When you want me to stop, give me the wave and
Yes,
I'll
sir.
blow it out and everything.
Alright, Ethan. We're ready to go.
Hey, you can just sit in the passenger seat.
Of course, it's the best tool ever. Oh, you got the drone up too?
Uh-huh.
I'm just getting time lapse right now. Multitasking. Holy cow.
Get it, Richie.
Ever since my eyes met the world, I was breaking through the chains like a match to a flame. I was born against the grain. Oh, oh. They say I'm broken in the brain, got a shot of kerosene in my veins. Hey, hey, hey. They better be concerned now, cause it's my turn, and I'm only getting hotter. Take a step back or you might get burned. Cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Yeah, I rose from the trenches and the fumes, got defiance in my bones to the soles of my shoes. And oh, I got a thirst for breaking the rules. You can try me, but I got a short fuse. Hey, hey, hey. They better be concerned now, cause it's my turn, and I'm only getting hotter. Take a step back or you might get burned. Cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Look out for my flames, baby, cause I'm dangerous. I am a fire starter. Ever since my eyes met the world. Born against the grain. Take a step back or you might get burned. Cause I'm a fire starter. I'm a fire starter. Look out for my flames, baby, cause I'm dangerous. I am a fire starter.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, we can just follow right along with them.
You want to introduce yourself a little, or
Oh,
see
sure,
who you
sure.
are, what you're doing out
Yeah,
here today?
Ethan McJames with NRCS, just here helping Dusty out with the prescribed burn. Cole and I work together to kind of look at the unit, identify the resource concerns, and this is probably our fourth time out here looking at the unit, making sure it's secure, seeing what we need to address it to make today go perfectly. We have light and variable winds. That is less than ideal. We're really hoping for, during the back burn, 4 to 6 mile an hour wind so we can get a steady direction. It's about 2 mile an hour wind. We have this weak cold front coming through right now. Our relative humidity is 62% roughly, so that's great. That's working in our favor. It's very safe right now. And the temperature is about 65 right now. So we're monitoring temperature, wind speed, relative humidity, and wind direction. I'll monitor and record that every 30 minutes during the burn.
So we noticed it was raining a little bit.
Yep.
So how does that affect the burn, if at all?
Well, typically we don't do that, but if you're burning brush piles, I've done it many times during a rainstorm just to keep things really safe. But this is a weak cold front, and this little rain shower is basically done, so we'll keep moving. We have great fuel, so that won't affect us. If we had limited fuel, potentially, but we're also looking for a good forecast for 2 to 4 consecutive days after today. So that
we are at the San Antonio line and moving slightly forward.
Let me confirm. Cole, come back one more time. What point are you at? We are going to tie it into the creek.
Do you want to go all the way down?
With the backpack blower, yes. So we're good right here. So because that's a north wind, we've kind of created a bit of a head fire right here. But we can go ahead and let's fire up that blower and blow it to bare dirt. But it's not going to be that big a deal. We don't need it all the way to the fence at this spot. We're waiting on them. I'm just going to blow it out just to keep it out of our vehicle. We'll light right here. We'll walk down in there, and then we'll try to tie it back in. But I think we should wait until he's at B, because it's theoretically a head fire at that point, but there's no fuel in there. All right. Okay. It won't take long.
What we're doing right now is we're up in the northwest corner of the property. Richie just lit this northwest corner, and Ethan's killing it with the blower. But we're all just staging here. We're waiting on the other crew that's lighting, and they're on the southeast corner. Now they're about to do the fun part. So we're gonna be on the north side of this. We're gonna take our ATVs. Daniel Arms, my brother-in-law, he's got his rig. Him and Richie are actually lighting. And this will be the head fire. So this is the fun part. And hopefully if we get a little bit of wind, it'll all blow to the south. And me and Cole and Jake are following Daniel and them. We've got the water tank with us, and we're just kind of following and watching it as it unfolds and make sure everything's good. So we're gonna hop in the ATVs, and we're gonna, well, there's a big old cedar burning right over there. That's good stuff. That's what we want. But it's burning really good. You can see some of the cedar out here. Little bit that is getting slashed, so good stuff.
So now we don't have our road, right? And then of course it's going out into the short field, not a problem. The junipers and the highline poles and stuff, kind of interesting, but there's really not a whole lot of fuel under them. I let Cole make that call. Normally I'd just say, you know what, I don't even want to have to think about it, so I wouldn't like it. They're kind of dying underneath them, so
I tore all of those out, the ones across them.
Yes, because the highline. Exactly. So it never hurts to err on the side of caution. We are the flank fire, and then next we will be the head fire. Of course, where's our wind? It's not a whole lot.
No, it's not.
But the other reason why we started at 10 too is because at 1 p.m. typically every day the buzzards are flying the highest. We really want some good smoke lift too, right? So a lot of people are concerned about this, but we need to own our smoke too, right? So at 10 o'clock, the lift is gonna be good, and it should be the best around 1 p.m. and all the way through 4 p.m. And if you look at the clouds, the ceiling just got a little higher. And then the backfire is the smokiest part of it, right? And then a summer fire is gonna be even smokier because we got all that water in the grass. We're super dry though. And once we light our head fire, that smoke will lift really good. But our ceiling's getting higher, so we're doing good. We just don't want to smoke anybody out. And we definitely don't want an inversion that's going to sit and hold the smoke there.
Again.
Oh, excellent.
I think we got this south side, but the is west. We're going to make a run back down there and get over there on your side of the view.
Sounds good.
We really want to damage a lot of the blackberry today. That's a big goal, and you can see the blackberries kind of browned out from the drought and time of year. And so if we can really ding up the blackberry, that will be a success. The juniper, all the other trees, if we can suppress those, and then we'd want to get a 4-year return interval. So every 4 years we want to burn this again, or it will turn into a mature situation where we have to deal with it through mechanical means, which is much more expensive. So we're maintaining our grassland with prescribed fire.
Can you feel that heat?
Yeah.
Oh, it got that tree.
Oh, that is crazy. Can you hold this straight? Thank you. Big old boy. Big old boy on fire.
Our forage quality too will be better, right? Some of this old rank grass that the cows won't eat, now it'll be burnt down. So animal preference essentially drops significantly after we burned it. These native grasses evolve under natural fire systems, so they will come back just as good, if not better, after the fire. We're done growing grass for the year, essentially, right? So this will be lying in wait, but this will be black, and so it'll warm up earlier in the spring and theoretically green up sooner. All those junipers, all those other woody plants, that open area wants to become this, right?
Are you coming back to this west corner?
It wants to encroach on our forage production into this open area. We're going to have this. So if we left this for 10 years, then we're going to have junipers that are too tall to treat with fire.
It's got some smoke coming up pretty high on it.
Where they at?
They've got big water, so and they've got the fire department, so we'll let them handle that. But Leon's down in the draw, and he's right there. That's Leon on the hill right there in the red.
It's this north pole of this pair right here by me.
I just hope it's still those elms.
Yeah.
Hackberry trees.
Yeah. Like, we don't have a steady wind direction. It's just kind of doing whatever. Cow pies are a common culprit, but we don't have to worry about spot fires. But when we do mop up, we'll always kick those inside the unit a little bit farther, or snuff them out if you can.
I know about mop-ups.
Yeah.
We went out to Utah on a fire.
Oh.
Way to go, Richie. That's what they said. Start the fire.
But they're going to light all the way to the barn and then hold up, and we'll all work together at the barn. That's our one hard work spot, and then we're good to go. So the two fires will suck together.
Right.
And they are kind of creating their own weather. You can see we got some really good lift. This is where all these twists and turns kind of mess up, right? Because now one's a head fire and one's a flank fire, but
We're good.
we're doing good, yeah. We'll just stay right behind them. Fixing to get warm. Yep, we got a lot of fuel here. You can see he's making little fires that suck together too every time we turn the corner, which is good. See how it's pulling it away from the trees?
Yeah.
So say we wanted it to come away from the trees, we could just step in, you know, and we've done that before. Oh, it's getting too close to the neighbor. Jump in there and light another flank fire, they suck together. Ooh. Now you know why we want these lines as wide as possible right here.
Tight. Watch it, Cole.
I got it.
It's gonna get warm. Got great lift though, considering the weather pattern.
Yeah, it's got a good volume.
It is about 11:40. We get to a stopping point, I'll check weather again. Relative humidity drops in half for every 20-degree rise in temperature. So we know at 1 p.m. will be our driest time of the day for the most part. What's gonna be interesting is when it backs up into those blackberries right there on our left-hand side.
Hot?
See, he's lighting the tall fuel instead of the short because there's just not enough room to do it, and that's why another reason why it's a little hotter too. As soon as it hits that tall stuff, it gets real hot. It's gonna back right up into those blackberries. Yeah, let's get caught up with him and work this barn. All right, so this is your shredded line that we're gonna follow right here to the right, right? Right, that one goes around the front side of the barn?
Yep.
Yep, we'll work that, but we are gonna have to blow out as we go. so we'll just light and I'll follow behind and blow stuff out so we don't have to babysit.
I think we're
the
about
barn.
out of fuel.
Okay, there's another torch right there, so you should be good.
We're getting some breeze now.
It is. Oh, yeah.
Looks like a dust storm.
Yeah.
It's roaring up here.
See it up there?
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. It's gonna get in that high line.
Where'd Ethan go?
He's back here behind us. Oh, look at that.
You didn't know what you were getting into, did you?
Oh my goodness.
Jake either. You can move it if you need to. No, we got some good push wind right here. You guys having fun?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to leave Ethan.
Woo! It's getting pretty thick up there, man. I can barely see anything.
We gotta go. Look at that speeder.
Watch it, Ethan.
Cool, send the big truck down this by this barn, please.
You guys hold on. Boys, we gotta get out. We can't do this. There we go. We got some clear.
Okay.
Woo! We're gonna go back down. We don't need to sit in the smoke.
Woo! Shout out to all the firefighters.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Woo! I get right in the eyeballs.
At every hole in your body. Okay, now land in the fire drone.
Whew, I got hot.
Can't even, like, it's
A lot of smoke.
Honestly, in hindsight, we probably should have prepped that either better because that was a head fire. There was no way we had time to mess around right there.
No.
And so, yeah, that's why we wanted the good shredding around it.
Yes.
But once that head fire was going, there was nothing we could do. So
We got caught in the smoke.
yeah, I'm glad nothing happened. But
Yeah.
this is solid here. So
Yeah, and they got the backup for that
it's all
barn.
downhill after this, brother. All right. Well, if y'all want to follow him, I'll babysit this and blow it out. Yep.
You're killing it, man.
We got stick back there. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, pull up.
Keep that squirt gun pointed that way.
Yeah, boy.
I know you and your toys over here.
Hey, fire and water gun like a little kid's dream. Better not waste water. Huh?
Straight that way, there's a tree about 50 feet tall that's on fire.
Is it really?
I don't know if there's cedars all around one or something, but I couldn't get close enough to see it.
Saw a fire tornado suck up my drone earlier.
I didn't see it. I was ahead of it. You were behind it, I think. Richie's caused it. I mean, he's the one that lit the fire.
Culprit, right here.
I'm pretty sure I was suckered in a position. They were like, look, he wants to do it, dummy.
That's what happened. I see Dusty smiling. He ain't saying anything.
Dusty's like, I didn't start the fire.
The one time it wasn't him.
That's what I'm starting to see why I was invited now.
Dude, so you know where I stopped at that gate, and he said, yeah, go on up around the barn. So he went up around that little barn that's fallen in, and you could see the other fire we were trying to tie into it by the high line. By the time we got there, it was a good thing there was a gate there, because that wind shifted and it was moving faster than Richie could.
Left, and we got stuck behind that barn. We couldn't see or anything because the wind shifted and kicked up and blew right and was circling us. I couldn't see y'all or anything.
It shifted at the wrong dang time. I know that because I was on the other side of the fence and I was like, oh, I can get back, and then that smoke was getting me, that heat was coming. I was fixing to jump the fence.
The fire was making its own wind. It just got so big. Yep.
We'll tie up here in this corner, and there's a little patch up here, but it's super small.
Is anyone patrolling the south line, especially where the trees are?
Uh-oh, I think we lost pressure again.
It die?
Yep.
Every time we move.
A little hot.
We can let it take off if you want, and so you don't get so hot. It's gonna get up in that room.
That is a big old boy. Big old boy on fire.
Turn around, let's see.
Needed burning.
Got some good friends out here, some good resources that all know what they're doing. Well, we at least try to think we know what we're doing. Not sure what that is. Yeah, he's on that leaf blower. He's gonna come up.
Taking notes, right, Dusty?
Copy that.
We've got a wet line going too.
Yeah, it stalls for a little bit, doesn't it? Need one more man in the truck. Oh, there is 4 guys.
All right, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of what you're doing here today?
Yeah, so my name's Cole Fagan. I'm a coordinating wildlife biologist with the Oaks and Prairies Joint Venture, and we're a non-government organization that is devoted to helping grassland bird habitat. And one of the things that really is great for grassland birds, especially bobwhite quail, is the use of prescribed fire. So today we burned about 60 acres of what used to be prairie and had some woody plant encroachment, some bodark, pecans, and especially cedar trees growing in areas that used to be open. So we lit a fire under prescribed conditions with fire breaks, proper equipment and personnel here, and had a safe and effective burn. We had probably 40 to 60% humidities, so it was right in there in the safest range. Didn't have any issues. It had just a great burn, and I can't wait to see this in the spring when it greens up. It's going to be great. It's going to sit over winter and be black for most of the winter, especially since it's been so dry. But once it comes springtime, it's going to be the first thing to green up, and it's going to look really good.
Hopefully we can get some of that fence done and get some of those bison back.
Yeah, I'm sure the bison can smell the smoke. They want to be on that stuff. On it. Yes, absolutely.
So they were saying the deer, we already saw some coming up to it after, and
yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. I mean, fire is just amazing. It's been excluded from the ecosystem for so long, and seeing the wildlife respond to it tells you that this stuff is supposed to get burned every once in a while, and it's been a long time since most of it has. So the first thing, anytime you're dealing with fire, weather, you live and die by the weather. So the weather's got to be good. You want wind speeds under 20 miles an hour, preferably 10 to 15. Like today, when we started, we had light and variable winds. It wasn't consistent. It kept switching on us because it was so light. And a lot of times when you have a 8 to 15 mile an hour wind, that stays more consistent, so you know where that fire is going to go. You want to look for relative humidities that are going to meet your objective. If you have a timber stand that you're trying to thin out, you want to burn with a lot lower humidities, because that timber and shade, you know, holds a lot of moisture. But where we were burning today with mostly grassland, we could, you know, deal with these higher 50s to 60% humidities and still get a really safe and effective burn. You know, our wind direction, we had to have a north wind for this burn because Highway 7 is just a half mile up the road, and we cannot smoke out a major highway.
Right.
That's asking for trouble. And there was actually less neighbors to the east also, or to the west, excuse me. And so the northeast wind really mitigated a lot of smoke concerns from neighbors too.
And so now that the burn's over and it was done safely, what's the next steps to make sure that it stays like that and none of those little fire pits or smoke pits out there?
Absolutely, that's a big thing that a lot of people get in trouble with. They light the fire and then go home, but you have to stay and mop up, and you know, you make sure nothing is smoking or smoldering near the edges. Make sure any brush piles that are still burning are way in the middle of the unit, so that way if they send an ember, it doesn't land somewhere where it can burn. Spraying stumps out. Cow patties are a big thing. Cow patties can sit and smolder for days, so getting those kicked into the black or sprayed out is always really good. Any smoldering or smoking fuels at all close to the edge just needs to be put out.
So that's kind of what we showed at the end, going through and mopping all that up. And
yes, absolutely.
We'll keep an eye on it for the next few days out here, still driving around the ATVs, but he's pretty much on his own for the rest of this. So.
Absolutely, yep. And so my organization, you know, we help plan the burns, we help execute the burns. It is a landowner's responsibility to mop up for the rest of the day and the days after. But this burn was really a partnership. It couldn't have been done without the partnerships that we've developed. We had the Pontotoc Ridge Prescribed Burn Association here, the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation was here, Oaks and Prairies Joint Venture, NRCS Murray County,
Davis Fire Department.
Davis Fire Department. So we had tons of people that wanted to help. There's a lot of interest in this area, and that helps everyone, you know, get these burns done safer and effective. The more people and equipment you can have on a burn, you can't hardly ever have too much. So that always helps and helps people feel better about it too. Like I said earlier, you know, the plants and animals here are adapted to fire, and they need that disturbance periodically to keep their habitat in check to where they can survive and thrive. So we do a lot of burns for people interested in wildlife, and the ranchers that are burning, they're not only burning for their cattle. The wildlife get that benefit too.
So if there are any ranchers or anybody that wants to get in contact with you and do a controlled burn and this done to their property, what's the best way to go about that?
The best way is to go on our website, www.opjv.org. We're the Oaks and Prairies Joint Venture. We service 10 counties in Oklahoma and 30 counties, I believe, in Texas. We've got a lot of really good experienced people that can help you out. And if we can't help you, we know all the places and people to get you the help you need.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys out here today. Y'all did an awesome job.
No problem.
Crushed it. Y'all were working.
Fun.
We appreciate it.
We love doing it, so it was our pleasure.
It was fun. I can see why, because that was the biggest fire of my life, for sure. So
everyone is different too.
Yeah.
Every single one is different, and there's no two burns that are ever the same. Even the same unit, the next time we burn this is not going to burn the same because we've removed all those volatile fuels. So all that stuff that we burned up today is not going to burn up next time. You know, the grass and stuff will.
A very exciting fire, and if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know that I'm a bit of a pyro, and I have been for a long time. I've just been a firebug since I was a kid, and I've been caught a few times as a kid setting pastures on fire and a couple of trees and you know, grandmother's yard, maybe some of that stuff growing up. I was just cleaning stuff up, you know. If you really want to go back and look at it, you know, that's what I told my parents or my grandma and some of those people is, you know, I was just cleaning up around the place. And here I am at 36, almost 37 now, and still having fun with fire, but a little bit more productive, let's just say, a little bit more organized, and had a little more help, obviously. And that's really what I want to say here is I want to thank Cole and Ethan, the two guys that really helped me get this whole thing going and organized. They drew up the plans, 3 or 4 visits out on the Ponderosa, driving around, making sure everything was good. And they helped me organize it all, and they really ran it. And so I appreciate their help. those guys are local too, and so it's nice to have them really close to me. I want to thank all the other guys were all volunteers. I mean, we had people from all across the state come and help, and I think there was about 15 of us or so. And you may not have seen some of their faces on here, but I do appreciate their help. Some of this footage is going to be used for those people that are part of different programs of Oklahoma, and I'll let you know kind of what those programs are. I don't know them all because there's so many that do these sort of things across the state of Oklahoma, helping people burn. It was fun to work together. I had Cole, my buddy, Cole Meager, help me, Jake, my brother-in-law, Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, Richie, his friend, who we hang out with. I appreciate those guys. When I called them, I said, hey, you know, just be ready. When I get the green light, it's going to be go time. And so, you know, I gave them a day or two ahead of schedule. I said, all right, they called me, it's time to go. And those guys showed up. Daniel brought his ATV over, and I do need to thank all of them, and I appreciate their help. I think some of my friends, I said it's going to be a big deal, but they really didn't know what they were getting into, which is fun. You know, Jake, he showed up in boots and a nice pair of jeans and Cross Timbers Bison t-shirt. He wasn't ready for the heat because I put him in the shotgun seat, and he was getting a little hot in some places, as you could see in the fire. But guys, you're gonna see the big difference come April or March, April. Hopefully we get some precipitation between now and then, and you'll see the difference, and you'll see what it can really do. Oklahoma's not the only place that does this. There's places all across the country that are doing this, especially in national parks and stuff. Speaking of where we currently are, visiting Yellowstone and whatnot. I know you're going, Dusty, you don't have these spruce trees and then aspen trees. No, I don't. That's because we're on a little vacation together with my wife and daughter Brooke. So with that being said, we will do this more often. We're going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep working with those guys. So we will be burning more in the future. We'll do some pasture burning with some grazing rotations with patch burning. And I can't wait to do that in the future. And we'll always bring that along with you. So guys, fire is a good source to keep your woody plants away and keep the native grasses, which is awesome for bison and very productive for bison or any type of wildlife that's in our area. It's a good thing. It can be a bad thing if it's not organized and whatnot, but this is a very good tool without bringing any chemicals in and really rejuvenating the land and bringing up the good stuff. So that's why we do it, and you'll see that difference hopefully come this spring. And I hope if you got any questions or any comments, leave a comment below or question below what you think about the fire. But you'll see more of this. It's a great tool for people like me trying to get out of the woody plants and making room for the native plants, which is what the bison love, and that's what the bison need. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.